Okay, hello and welcome to this NEP for solving equations graphically. So that's notes, examples and practice questions, and the answers are available at www.stutchfield.com or here through this video. So get your notebook or your folder, wherever you're writing these notes. This is going to be your title for today, solving equations graphically. So if you write down that title, then we're going to look at the notes. Okay, so when we solve 2x equals 10, what we're actually doing is we are finding the intersection of y equals 2x and y equals 10. Because it's y equals and y equals, if y equals 10, instead of this y here, I can put 10. So can we see how this is the same as y equals and y equals this? And that's the basis of this, but you just have to be happy looking at the graphs. Now, we could use different versions of this to solve instead. So x equals 5 is dividing both sides by 2. So instead of 2x and 10, we have x and 5. And that is solving y equals 5 and y equals x. So it's the same idea that we're solving two equations. Or we could have 2x plus 5 equals 15 by adding 5 to both sides. So I've added 5 to that and added 5 to that. And again, that's y equals 2x plus 5 and y equals 15. So as long as we do the same to both sides, we can manipulate these equations. It is often possible, this is the key, to match one side of the equation to an existing graph. And then the blue box says we're always looking to match the existing graph, then plot what is left. So what we're going to have for these questions is there will be a graph that is given to you. As we can see down here, here is the function. So that graph is given to you, okay? And hopefully it'll make a bit more sense as we go through some of the examples. So moving on, we then want a subheading for examples. We want to keep these really nice and neat and write down every stage of our working. So this says here is the function f of x equals x squared minus 4x. So this is basically y equals x squared minus 4x. Now it's a quadratic, it's a happy face, it's a positive, it has a y-intercept of 0, so we can tell the features of that graph. However, what we're doing is we're looking to use the graph, so we're looking to match the existing graph. Now what we have here is it says use the graph to solve x squared minus 4x equals 0. Now I'm actually going to use green for this bit because green means it is matched. So this is already matched to my existing function. So that means, and again we're thinking about those two graphs, so we've got y equals that, but then I also need y equals 0. And y equals 0, I'm just going to grab my ruler. So y equals 0, in red for this question for part 1, y equals 0 goes like this. And then we are looking for the points of intersection. So one is here and one is here, and they are my answers. So therefore x equals 0 or x equals 4. So we're using the idea of the intersection to solve this graphically. Okay, question number 2, I'm going to do in blue. So use the graph to solve x squared minus 4x equals x. And remember, we're looking to match that function. Now again, that is what we're looking for, so it's matched. So I already have y equals x squared minus 4x. So then I need to do this side as well, and that is y equals x. Now y equals x is a diagonal line. It goes through 0, 0, 1, 1, 2, 2, and so on. So I can draw that line in here, and it should be, yeah, it's a 45-degree angle. So this is my equation here, in blue for the blue question. So we can see there that we have two new intersections. That one's there already, and this one is here. So x equals 0 and x equals 5. So we're just looking to split the function up, sketch the two graphs, and then we're looking at where they cross over. Okay, final question. I'm going to do this one in yellow. And I've got a second graph down here for this question as well. Now it says, use the graph to solve x squared minus 5x plus 4 equals 0. Now, our problem this time is that we do not have, it does not match my original function. So that's my original function, and it does not match. So what I need to do from my blue box, it says we're looking to match the existing graph. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make this the same as my existing graph. Now x squared is the same, that's fine. But I've got minus 4x is what I want. So actually I'm going to plus an x to that. And that gives me minus 4x. But if I plus x there, I have to plus x on the other side as well. Now I don't want the plus 4, so I'm going to minus the 4 and minus the 4 on that side. So that cancels out. And that gives me x squared minus 4x equals x minus 4. And now this is what I want. This is matching the existing graph. So therefore this here is what I need to sketch. So I'm taking the graph I'm given, I'm matching it to the existing graph on here, and then I'm plotting what's left over. So x minus 4 goes through minus 4, and it has a positive gradient of 1. Now I could use my table function to plot this, that's fine, or I can use my knowledge of the y-intercepts and the gradients of graphs and things like that. So this is where my graph's going to go. And then, sorry about that little squiggle there. And then I'm looking for the intersections. So the intersections are here and here. So this is 1 and this is 4. So x equals 1 and x equals 4. So that's that stretch question at the bottom where we have to match it up. Okay, so our little summary. So we're always looking to match our existing graph. Okay, so we have a green light if it matches. So if it already matches, then what we do is we plot y equals the other side of the equation. If it doesn't match, we need to adjust, doing the same to both sides. And then finally, I'm just going to do this in red. Remember that any equation here this equals y and y equals there as well. And then I'm looking for the intersection. So any equation I can break down into two straight lines, y equals and y equals, and then my answer is the intersection. So that's my summary. Write that down nice and clear, nice and neat. That is the end of your notes, and then we're going to move on to the practice questions. Okay, so here are the practice questions. I suggest you do these somewhere different to your notes. You want your notes to be nice and neat, clear with your examples, and then your practice questions you can do somewhere else. So here we have, if you want the answers, you can find them at www.stutchfield.com, or you can find them here in this video. Get in touch if you need help, or you can go back and watch what you've watched before. Okay, here is the graph of f of x equals that. So that is my green light graph. That is what I'm aiming for. That is the graph that is given to me here. Now, question 1, do this in red. It says use the graph to solve this equals 5. Now remember, the first thing I'm looking for, do I have a green light? So does this match the equation that I've been given? And in this case it does, so that's fine. And then I want to do this, and remember, so that's y equals x squared plus 2x minus 3, and this is y equals 5. So y equals 5 is a horizontal line, and it goes through y equals 5. So it goes through like this here. And then my answer is I'm looking for my intersection, so here and here. So x equals 2 or minus 4. Okay, question number 2, do this one in blue. It says use the graph to solve x squared plus 2x minus 3 equals x plus 3. Now again, I'm checking for that green light. So I've got x squared minus 2x minus 3 is what I'm looking for up here. So that means what I need to do is I've already got this. I need to do this one. So remembering what I know about straight lines, that goes through 3, that's the y-intercept, and it has a gradient of 1. So it's going to go like this with a gradient of 1, so a long one, up 1. And that gives me my answers, 1 here, so that's 2 as well, which is fine, and this one, that is x equals minus 3. Okay, my final question in yellow, use the graph to solve this equals 0. Now this time I don't have a green light because it does not match the graph that I've been given. So remember, we are aiming for this. That's what we're aiming for. So what we need is an extra x, so plus x, so that's fine. Then that'll be plus 2x, but remember we have to do it on both sides as well. Now if I want to get to minus 3, I need to add a 3 onto here. So if I add 3, I get minus 3, and that equals x plus 3. And now I have a green light because this is what I need it to be. Now, interestingly, we've got x plus 3 here. So I'm going to plot that there. So we know it goes through 3. We know it has a gradient of 1. So it goes like this here. Upward sloping graph. And here are my solutions. So x equals 2 or x equals minus 3. Now what you might notice is these solutions are the same, these ones and these ones, and actually that's because I have the same graph sketched. So that means this question is the same as this one, but that one's easier because we've already got that green light, we've already got that matching graph. So there we have it, there are our answers. If you would like more practice questions or more topics that you're maybe struggling with, have a look at www.stutchfield.com. There is plenty more there for you.